Multi-exclusive dimensional being card with another exclusive. Today's video is going to be about how to do shadow work. Yes. Now, what is shadow? A shadow is something that you see in the dark. So that's darkness, complete darkness. And when we talking complete darkness, that means everything that's considered to be dark, black, or pretty much. I don't even like using that word because we are not black. That's a ritual and spell casted on you to begin with. If you ever claim to be black or Black Lives Matter, that's a ritual and spell that's casted on you, and that spirit will always follow you in your whole entire career, your whole life, to the point that you put blockages and limitations on your spirit, on your soul, the new fleshly fluids that you create into this circumference in this world. So be careful with these words and names and titles that you attach onto yourself. You just gotta be light as possible. Your spirit is a light being. That means your spirit creates physical vessels to go into. Feel me? And then once you start to experience, that's your soul. And your soul, your conscious records, your spirit is always gonna know. Your spirit always gonna know. Your spirit sits in the seats. Your spirit is basically the one that's traveling. Your spirit is always in search for something new. That's the whole purpose of you having dreams and basically expansion of contracts. So your spirit never want to put itself in a circumstance or situation to basically be stagnated or be put into one spot. So your spirit has to be constantly moving and constantly searching for new vessels to go into, for new vessels to inhabit and create. That's the whole purpose. The universe don't stay in one spot. So why the fuck do you want to stay in one spot? Why do you want to be on earth for the rest of your life? Why do you want to live in this flesh for the rest of your life? You gotta get out of that circumstance situation. Society made death seem like it was something bad. Death is nothing bad. Death is so beautiful. You're missing out on the bigger perspective. It's all about the state of being and awareness that you're in when you leave this flesh and fluid. So if you're in a bad circumstance situation when you're leaving this bed, when you're leaving this life, that means you're holding on to things. When you learn how to let go and smile and be in good substances, everything goes very well and very smooth for you. That means you left this world with nothing attached. You left this world in peace. You left this world without you didn't have nothing to basically attach to. So that's the whole purpose of basically leaving what you created here and not bringing nothing with you. You can't bring the money with you. You can't bring the cars with you. You can't bring the hoes with you. You can only bring the frequency, the vibration with you. And energy is always going to expand the contrast. For me, that's nothing because you're creating a bigger shape and form to go into, to inhabit, and basically experience. So basically, when you know this shit, you know that when you do leave this vessel, these things, you already got these things within you. These things will follow you. And as long as you was vibrating in a good state, especially emotional state, you ain't got nothing to worry about. God and the universe gonna take care of you. And when I mean God and the universe, I ain't talking about the God that you heard about in your Bibles. I'm talking about that your higher self, your God, basically your God, your higher self, your spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Universe gonna bring these substances to you. These ain't nothing that you need to be worried about. You just need to be in energy. You have to utilize everything as your puppet, as your bitch, as your sheep. For me, so once you utilize these circumferences, everything will gravitate itself to you. That's why you're not supposed to chase money. You're just supposed to be in the energy of already having money. So that goes to show money is your bitch and money gonna come to you. This go for all genders, for females and males. And remember, don't get it fucked up because got some males that's bitches too. Know what I'm saying? Weak, soft, and I ain't saying females. I ain't saying females is weak. I just say you got some men that's just too stuck in their feminine ways, too stuck in their feelings and emotions. No fire, no passion, nothing. Feel me? And you got some women that's basically very passionate and strong and powerful. And of course, woman is strong. Period. So let's not even go there. And feel me? The feminine came first, masculine came second. So feel me? Because and masculine is heavy, it's shape, it's form. So basically, feminine is basically water. So we playing with the moon, we play with our macabre, we play with our mother. That's your moon, that's your feeling, that's your emotions. Basically, when these waters get heavy, they add substances. They basically you can't feel me, you can't hold it in too much long. You gotta express it, you gotta push it out. So basically, that's just expansion and contraction. It's another way to look at things. Feel me? Remember, when you drink water, you drink fluids, you gotta piss it out. When you eat a lot of food, you gotta shit it out. So let's get into this whole video of shadow work. So when we talking shadow work, that means everything gotta be off. Feel me? And this is how they properly do it. Some people may have issues with this, so basically, it's very important to basically know your moon sign, because when you know your moon sign, you will know what kind of feelings and emotions and vibrations that you're more inhabitant to, or what you're more connected to. And you feel me? You can't really let nobody or tell nobody to do things in their own way. But if you're following your element, your moon element, not your sun sign, not your rising, but your moon element, feel me? Now, when we talk about moon element, that's fire. So basically, if you're a fire moon, you would have to put out that fire with the water. So it's good to do your shadow work in the dark, and do it in the tub. Feel me? Sit down, close your eyes, shut everything off. Know what I'm saying? And just close your eyes, go into the darkness. Feel me? Now, if you're a water element, you got to be basically dealing with the candles right here. So you have to basically light these candles up to balance that fire. Feel me? Because the water be all over the place and shit. So you got to have the candles to basically try to, like, calm down the waters and shit. Feel me? Add not too much steam. Not, you don't want to burn your waters, but you want to basically, like, secure that. And if you're an air element, you got to basically go outside, close your eyes, focus on your breath, focus on that. The way you breathe in, breathe out through your nose, breathe in your nose, breathe out your nose, breathe in your nose, breathe out your mouth. Know what I'm saying? You got to focus on the breath. You got to focus on your air. You got to focus on the way you think and communicate and interact. Feel me? But everybody thinks it communicates in their own element, their own way of doing things. So you really don't have to look at it in some way. But shadow work is basically the internal work, internally. So also, when we dealing with earth signs, you have to be dealing with, of course, earth elements. So as far as, like, you can meditate with money around. You can meditate with motherfucking you can meditate with crystals, gemstones, um, chains and stuff like that, stuff of that nature, like the earthly elements, like plants. Or play a little bit of music too, depending on how things play out. It's like however you want to basically play into these mechanisms. Some people may need quietness. Some people, it's always good to have some clairvoyance in your spectrum. Sometimes you gotta have some quietness. For me, things get too noisy, things get too chaotic. You gotta have at least balance that shit out. So put yourself in a circumstance situation. Have at least 30 minutes or an hour to have clairvoyance. Not everybody gonna be able to do the internal work. Society told people to do things externally. So for the starters and shit, it's all about discipline, especially when you're doing the shadow work. It's very important, especially in times like this. Things gonna get a little crazy. Feel me? And the shit that you're gonna see externally, you're not gonna want to, like, take that shit in. It's gonna be very hard to swallow that shit. It's gonna be very hard to swallow those pills. So what you need to basically be doing and focusing on is basically doing the shadow work. Feel me? Getting your rituals, getting your spells, getting everything on paper. You know what I'm saying? So also coming together, having your family do this shit too. This way, you can get everybody doing shadow work, everybody doing the internal work. Now you meet down what you're doing. You're building a spiritual structure. Now, when you're doing this shit, when you got a whole lot of people in the room doing the shadow work, coming together and shit, this creates a sextile. This creates sextile energies where you have the opportunity to basically create, expand. And the more you do this, the more time and intention and effort you put into it, things will go into your favors. Or everybody that's in the room doing the shadow work. Shadow work is important for me because a lot of people not able to fully express themselves. A lot of people not fully able to come up to their true passion and their true uniqueness or their true sparks. We all got these capabilities, but we may have it hidden, and we may have some insecurities that we may have to work through so in order to bring these things up out of us. And the only way to connect in with your inner self and your shadow is basically going within yourself, subconsciously, closing everything out, unconsciously. Feel me? That's basically leaving the conscious alone. For me, the conscious is always going to basically be taken care of once you do the internal work. For me, because once your inner world is speeding up in the process, your external world is always going to speed out extremely fast too. Also, this goes when you're going to sleep at night too. You gotta always make sure you're in good spirits. Make sure you're vibrating high. Make sure you're in a circumstance situation where you're in the need of basically having no issues, nothing on your heart, nothing on your mind, body, and soul. Make sure that all that shit is clear out. Make sure you always do your shadow work before you go to sleep. Because if you're not controlling your dreams, if you're not controlling your inner world, these things are not correctly. Things are not correctly, and you're not following universal law into your own uniqueness. You're not gonna be able to receive good fortune. Feel me? You're just gonna look at life like, damn, it's fucked up. Feel me? That's why when you're vibrating high, you can own your dreams and bring these things down to existence, no matter what fucking world you're in, whether you're in this world or another world. That's why What you're doing now counts. It's not about what you did yesterday. It's not about what you did with the day before. It's about what you're doing right now at this very moment, at this very time. This way, these things are going to progress and play out to your favors. So, when you continue this shit, everything will play out. Listen, everything is consistency is key. You can't just do this shit one day and think this shit gonna work out for you the next day without you doing it. Listen, every day the sun comes out, you see the fucking sunshine in the sky. Every day you see the moon. Every day you see brightness outside. So that means you gotta be consistent. This shit don't stop. It don't stop on your time. A lot of people want shit, but they not putting in the fucking work. Put in the fucking work. That's all you gotta do. Believe in yourself. It ain't hard. It ain't. I don't care how many. I don't care if you work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or a job. I don't care if you got kids, 2, 3 kids. Do this shit. Put the passion in. Don't fall short. Don't give up. Be prepared. Be ready. You want this shit. Feel me? You want to see you want to be powerful for your kids. You want to be strong for your kids. If you ain't got no hope, do it for your damn kids. They're your motivation. They're your creation. Do it. Don't fall short. Don't fuck up. This is serious. If you really wanted this bad, you got to really put in that pain. You got to put in that passion. You got to put in that work. You got to be serious. The universe need to be they need to be seeing that you're serious. They only work with people that's serious. They only work with people that build their currency. They only work with people that build their spirit and basically put themselves in a circumstance situation where they want to be seen in life. Now, if you ain't doing this shit, then you ain't gonna see whatever. Remember, what you do, what you push out is what you receive. So if you pushing out bullshit, you pushing out weakness, you're pushing out lackness, you're pushing out doubt, you're gonna receive that shit. For real. Feel me? Opposites always attract. Well, what are you attracting? Feel me? What are you attracting? It's very important to take this into consideration. Feel me? This is your life we talking about. This is the now and not then. Feel me? You want to make sure things is correct now. You want to make sure you're gravitating yourself towards a higher standard or a higher novel. You want to bring structure into your life. You want to be the center of attention. You want to be the fire. You want to be the water. You want to be the air. You want to be the earth. You got all these elements. You can basically create these to go into your spaceship anytime. You don't got to wait till a certain day to do these things. But you got to do this shit every day. We got 7 days, right? Supposedly. Monday is the day you're supposed to be nurturing, very caring. That's the day to be home. They made it seem like Monday was very bad because you got to go to work. Feel me? You better make sure you got your imagination and everything flowing on that motherfucking day. Tuesday, that's the day you be passionate. That's the day you're dealing with fire element. And that's the day you want to basically take things into consideration and be very strong, be very focused and very ambitious of what you want to do with your goals. Wednesday, that's the day you're supposed to think and communicate. Ponder on things. For me, read something. Know about yourself. For me, get in your astrological charts. Not saying you got to do these on these certain days, but basically, these are the energies that you want to play out more. Thursdays, that's expansion in Jupiter. That's the day you want to think and communicate, interact with everybody. That's the day you learn everything. That's the day you want to basically interact with people. You never know how the universe works through people. You never want to be naive on these days. Friday, that's the day of love, Venus, appreciation, value, desire. Feel me? Companionship, compromise. That's the day you want to have love, care. Saturday is the day of limitations and restrictions. That's the day you want to basically block out every person, place, and thing, kill all desires, and make sure you're being basically practical and very stable with your life. That's the day you're supposed to take shit serious. That's the day you ain't supposed to be out here fucking sucking or drinking beer or just smoking or fucking cracking bottles or cracking cocaine, whatever the fuck you want to talk. That's the day you're not supposed to be eating every fucking pizza or every fucking chicken in the pot. That's the day you're supposed to just eat one piece of chicken. Make sure you going within lightly and make sure you're doing things in moderation. You don't want to overindulge that day because when that day is over, Sunday come, you gotta you ain't sober, you all fucked up. That's the day you're supposed to utilize Sunday as Sunday, worship the day you worship yourself. The sun always shining bright on a Sunday. That's the day you're supposed to be putting in all the work, using all the energy, harnessing all the motherfucking energies into your favor. And if you ain't doing this shit, then I don't know what the fuck you doing with yourself. Feel me? These are the days you're supposed to take into consideration of your own power, your own will. You're supposed to basically drive this shit towards where you want to be seen in life. Now, if you ain't taking these shit serious, then you're fucking up. You gotta start all over again. Feel me? And make sure you do it right too. You're perfect already. Just do it right. Be consistent. The more consistent you is, the more you gravitate towards yourself. And that's shadow work for you. And keep a dream journal too. And keep a motherfucking journal of every thought, feeling, emotion that you receive every motherfucking day. These thoughts, feelings, emotions ain't yours. These things that you're swimming in. Always remember that. I love y'all. I love y'all. Real shit.